one thing that I have noticed among my son and a couple of his friends, if they spend a lot of time, and I don't let him play any of these violent games, but he has computer games that he does. And I notice that he gets a little more irritated, he's a little more short-tempered, and can be rude, after using it. And if I go, okay, that's it, now you're not going to use the thing for a week, within 3 days, he's back to finding something else to do. He and his friends are going outside, they're playing badminton, or jumping on the trampoline, or running around even, or going to walk down to pick up the newspaper. And they're much more polite and pleasant.
Well, this is that balance of technology. It's a tool, but at some point, don't we all get that way? I know when you're doing your quick, fast email, everything's going, and then you have to get back to regular life. There's relationships. There are things that don't go at the speed of light.
Yeah, sure.
As Gandhi said, there's more to life than increasing its speed. So I think that's a good lesson for not just kids, but for all of us to get back into nature's rhythms, the seasons, the cycles, those things that dominate and control our lives. Whether we acknowledge them or not, they do. And so that's another aspect of what I'd like to see happen. These kids, we're doing a pen pal program where if they're going to be on the computer, why not connect with the schools that they're paying it forward to in other countries? Maybe they can get each other help. Say, hey, I'm doing a project here on whatever it is. We're studying the changes in the last 50 years and get some help from overseas. These kids can all find out that, whoa, not just our neighborhood, but everybody's saying, you talk to grandma and grandpa, and there's a whole lot less songbirds than there were 50 years ago or whatever, and they start going, and this is where they discover things and then they take action themselves. And I want to encourage kids to jump up and have some fun because, like I tell them, I say, when you're 18, you're just another person looking for a job. But until then, everybody, our whole premise is founded on 3 basic things. We all have this common ground, the earth. Everybody looks at that picture and their heart is open. Some people say, what do you want me to feel? What's your agenda with this picture? I go, we don't have one. We're just trying to let you see it the way the astronauts do. You tell me, what do you feel? But it's always a positive wonder and awe. Get back to that. Secondly, everybody cares about, their children, because the children are our future. They're 35% of the population, but 100% of our future. So, and of course, everybody cares about their future, not just their children's, their own, the planet. So those 3 areas, and if we use celebration and music and fun and get out there and, show some new energy for a new era, I think we can turn this all around. I think there's a big shift happening right now, and I think that most people can feel it's time. It's just the pendulum of the day-to-day stuff, but the nature takes forward.
Well, yeah, I think moving away from the abstract and getting kids more interested in reality and nature is going to be the way to kick it over. And offering all these different kinds of things. I love this. Starting with K to 6, You're taking the most influenced age, I don't know if my terminology is right, but the age where they're a sponge for learning and giving them something valuable to learn.
Well, and more than just giving, it's got to be a two-way street. We want to hear from those kids. That's what the Pen Pal program, Planetary Pen Pals, all that stuff's about, is let's listen to those voices. People say, well, what do you think kids are going to, well, yeah, when they get in high school, their science project, I go, no. There are, in fact, people don't know, but Edwin Land, the guy that invented the Polaroid camera, it came because of his little daughter at 4 or 5 years old said to him, after he took the picture, why can't I see the picture now? I mean, kids are going to ask those silly questions that get us thinking, that open new doors. And he said, well, yeah, why can't you see the picture now? And their whole industry is born. So I've got a friend who was a stockbroker, and he had 4 questions that pierced his heart and made him change his job, literally. I mean, he was a 4-year-old came home one day from school, or maybe she was 8. Anyway, young girl, daughter in tears. He comes in, his dad, tired from work. What's wrong? And she says, Daddy, are you aware the earth is dying? And we're losing rhinoceros and elephants and parrots aren't going to be here soon. And they're there. It's not quite that bad, but, we've got a little time. And okay, well, are you aware of it? Are you doing anything about it? Well, yeah, I'm donating to a couple of organizations here and there, but are you doing all you can for the,
maybe
that's
not.
Tough one there, and then and why not? The last question is always the one, not just you, Daddy, but everybody. Why aren't the grown-ups concerned? Why aren't they doing it? And so those 4 questions, boom, 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 hit him, and he just tore his heart open. He said, well, after he quit his job, and he's now out running a nonprofit trying to make a difference. So
doing it.
I'm not saying everybody should be going that direction, but everybody can do a little bit. Like Mother Teresa said, you got to, and by just getting that image out there and putting your energy out, that's one thing you can do. Be an Earthseed ambassador, talk it up, saying, here's the direction we're going. Let's think positive. Let's talk positive. Let's act positive. We can do this. There's not a problem. I don't care if it's global climate change, nothing that 7 billion creative minds can't fix on this planet if we work together, if we acknowledge our teamwork, that we are all one. Not just
I like your email thing too, because if kids are into technology, they're on the internet, they can do that sort of thing. They can connect with other people all over the world with that. They can get information and exchange information with other kids in other countries. And now they even have translation software that even if you don't speak the language that the other person does, you can have it translated for you.
Well, absolutely. And you and I grew up in an era where we played with a kid down the street, and that's coming to a close. Now they grow up with a kid around the world. So these young kids are going to grow up in a much more global society than we ever dreamed of. So why not prepare them for it? Let them bond with this image. I can't prove it for the grants necessarily, but I know that if they grow up with that image in their classroom, they're going to vote more green and sustainable and be bonded with the whole thing, not just their little segment of it, because it's all important. It's the holistic model that pulls us all together.
Well, and also they'll grassroots. They're going to learn through their own behavior. They'll start thinking more environmentally just from their daily things.
Absolutely.
Things that they're doing, and their friends will see that, then they'll be more inclined to think like that. It's a great opportunity you have here. It's earthseeds.net, and can I give out your phone number?
Absolutely.
Yeah. 719-636-3637 or 877-EARTH-10.
That's a toll-free one. Yeah.
Toll-free number. Developing global citizenship and learning, the next step is certainly important. I would mention to you that we were talking before the show, and now I'm thinking there's a lot of sustainable stuff going on up here, a lot of events. We have Ridgestock, we have the Alliance for Post-Petroleum Local Economy. There are a variety of other things. Maybe we could hook you up and we could all help each other.
That would be great. That's what it's all about, is networking together. We're all global citizens. Yes, we're going to have different countries. I don't want to get rid of the cultures and the uniqueness of each person, but start with our common ground. That's the bottom line. We're all crew members on board the big spaceship. We have much more in common always than we have that are differences. So celebrate both, and I think the children, as they say, can lead the way if we allow them to. It's just natural innocence and positive thoughts, positive actions. So.
And as a positive action thing, people think in terms of having to make sacrifices, my sport youth, my this or that. But if you could look at it as more of a positive thing where I'm doing something good for the planet, Absolutely. It takes that negative edge off of there and makes you think, I'm doing something good. As an individual, there is something I can do. And there are a lot of somethings, as it turns out. There are a lot of something,
and they all add up. It's little trickles. That's why I ask them, our goal by the year 2020 is have it up everywhere. If everybody drops a few, shares a few, same thing. One little change, one heart, one mind at a time. And it's happening. It takes a while to see, just like these looking back 100 years ago, but it will make a difference. And the children and the planet, and all the non-human species. Let's not forget, when we use the word crew members, we're not just talking about people. That's one of the great things.
Everybody and everything?
Yeah, trees are crew members. The kids go, whales, don't you get it? We're all crew members. They go, because kids are bonded. They're literally lower to the ground, and they have that connection, not just with their dogs and cats, but with all life. Sometimes we grow up and forget about that as adults, and we think, it's just about humans, and it's not. Like you say,
it's about everything.
Like Chief Seattle said, our destiny is all intertwined with what befalls Earth befalls man. So let's hopefully make a positive future.
Make a difference. Thank you. Thanks for watching Reality Check. Earthseeds.net. Thanks for watching Reality Check. Thanks to Richard and Scott and Adele and Tricia and Joe and Terry and what's your name? Honored for making the show work behind the scenes. Hope we'll see you next week. And thank you, Mark, for coming on. This is really good.